Okay, cool. Can we go now, sir, in my ear? Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to Drea de Matteo. How are you, dear?
Good. How are you? Is this Anthony?
This is Anthony. Yes, Anthony.
What's up, Anthony? How you doing?
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's Tony. No, don't call me Tony. Tony's my uncle. Anthony's been my name forever and ever. Are you Dre or Drea? I've had the controversy in my ear for many, many years.
Isn't that annoying? Isn't that the most?
Is.
Just call me Dre, like Dr. Dre. Nice and easy.
Right? That's what I thought. I do my research. I make sure.
It's really Andrea.
You're right. So Dre, it would be Drea or whatever. It works.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. You could call me whatever you want. Just don't call me Collect. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
I'm so 1970s, man.
Dre, so good to have you on the show. I know you must have done so many interviews about The Sopranos and whatnot, but first of all, no one knows more about it and is a bigger fan than me, which should be really annoying. But I'm also such a big fan that I know not to just bludgeon you with stupid Sopranos stuff. You've been there.
You can.
No.
I'm used to it. That's my job. I am the Mickey Mouse of The Sopranos. I'm the Minnie Mouse, I should say.
The Minnie Mouse. No, see, here's what I was saying earlier. I think back to 1999, early 2000s, and I can't imagine, well, I can, because I have had some people do this, where people are asking you about what you did then. You know, oh, hey, that was great, or this. And you go, oh, my God, it was so long ago. But you got to kind of smile and nod, or else you're, a piece of crap.
I mean, I get to say, oh, well, back in 99, I was on this small TV show called The Sopranos. You might have heard of it. There's still billboards for it on Sunset Boulevard right now as we speak.
I am the worst when it comes to identifying something that's going to be a hit or not. And in 1999, I was doing radio at WNEW in New York City, and I'd walk around the streets of New York, and the bus boards just started coming up for The Sopranos. And it said The Sopranos and had the gun in there and everything. And I was like, what is this crap? This show is not going to last one season. What garbage? Because I hated the little tagline they did, like, oh, look out. The mob's going to get him if his wife doesn't. And it was presented kind of in a weird way. I don't think they sold it on, at least on that bus board, as the show it became.
It happened so fast too.
Yeah,
oh my God, yeah. I remember you on NEW.
Yes.
That's 102.7, right?
Yeah, we were Opie and Anthony. We did the Whip 'em Out Wednesday thing, which ended up on one of the garbage trucks in an episode of The Sopranos. There was a big wow on the back when they blew up the garbage truck. So, yeah.
I grew up with that
was
station.
me.
I loved it so much back when things were just a little more rock and roll and way better.
Yes. Yeah, you're talking to a former aging shock jock, Trey.
Love it, man. I love it. Now it's just all saturated, watered down, clear. It's still Clear Channel. God knows what the hell it all is now.
It's all corporate, man.
Rock and roll doesn't even exist anymore, man. We're going to need some aliens to come down and start making rock and roll cool again.
Well, speaking of rock and roll, Dre, I didn't even know who your husband was.
Oh, Mr. Robbie Stabler. He is the epitome of rock and roll. He's the shaman drummer.
Yes, the shaman drummer. You've gone out and actually been married, I guess, to a couple of musicians over the years.
I'm a professional groupie. You can add that to my resume, too. I swore this last time around I would never date another musician, but Robbie he won me over in the pandemic. That was the end of that.
Was that when that happened?
Yeah, he got stuck here when they shut the world down with me and my children, and I wake up and he's teaching my kids, homeschooling them. I was like, okay.
That's something that a mom looks at that, just like falls instantly in love. It's a rom-com scene, for God's sake. You were you were involved for a time, I see, with Michael, the bass player of Whitesnake. I love Whitesnake, but I don't want to bring up.
He's not in there anymore either, I don't think. I think that fell apart. A lot of things fell apart in the pandemic.
Well, Whitesnake has had as many members as Spinal Tap. They really have had quite a few members in there. But I still love David Coverdale. Was he nice to you? He
was awesome. I absolutely love him. He's fun. He was great. He allowed me to get engaged for the second time on his stage.
Oh, wow.
That happened. But anytime I've gotten engaged on stage, that ended up not becoming a good engagement.
Not working out. Yeah.
No.
The guy kind of
wouldn't dare.
tutoring your kids sounds like a much better husband or boyfriend.
That was the way.
Yeah. The similarity between, you with musicians and, of course, Adriana.
I know.
I got to ask you this. Did you like the Meow song? Come on.
Do you know that was the most, I had two moments in the show that were the most nerve-wracking for me. It was a Meow, and it was when I had to get on stage with the Crazy Horse and introduce a band.
Right.
That was me really on display, and those were the moments where I realized I'm not really a performer, man. Like, this isn't my bag.
Wow, because it wasn't like acting. It was just kind of, here's what I do, and I got to put it out there, your real self.
I mean, he wrote that. I didn't improvise that. There was nothing was ever improvised on the show. That was pure David Chase. They thought I was a cat on the show, and they went with it, and I had to meow for them.
That song was so bad.
I know. We were listening to to Defiler, and I go, meow.
just terrible. Yours, of course, Adriana, and I was saying it earlier, one of the most, I guess, sympathetic characters. No one in the show, and I've watched it so many times over, you realize, like, no one in the show is innocent. There's just not really one person that is completely innocent in that show. Somebody's out for something. They're using people for something. But you obviously came across as very sweet, and it was kind of the worst scene ever to watch her demise there at the hands of Syl. But I guess, David played it out that way to make you more sympathetic than some of the other, especially the wives, Carmela and the rest of them.
I think she was the sacrificial lamb. And even though she was brassy and she would fight back, she never had an agenda like even the kids. The kids even had a hustle.
Yes.
She never did. Like, she really, and David said this to me too, she was pure love. Like, she really only operated from a place of love. She would defend herself sometimes, but she was never leading with that type of agenda the way everybody else was. People sort of, they gave into a lot of stuff because they wanted certain things. She just wanted love and wanted to give love.
Yeah.
She's super innocent in that way. So when she dies,
Adriana.
It's tragic because it changed the show in a way. Like, you really got to see how that killing one of their own in that way without even a moment of questioning.
Yeah.
And how impulsive it was. You really started to feel the animalistic nature of these men,
Dre, we're taking a quick break, but we'll come right back. I want to talk to you a little more if you can hang out a bit.
Yeah, I'm
Appreciate it. Okay, we'll be back with Drea de Matteo in moments. Anthony Cumia Show. Yes, the Anthony Cumia Show. We're back with Drea de Matteo, Adriana, of course, from The Sopranos. You were also on Sons of Anarchy, which another just graphically violent show.
That I like to call that one Diet Sopranos. Even though it was more violent, it was still Diet Sopranos kind of emotionally in a way.
Right. It was more, I think, less real deep storytelling. Yeah.
Yeah, they took that to the nth degree, but they didn't really go there with this sort of tragedy. It was tragic, but a different kind of tragedy. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. TV has gotten so different from obviously the Sopranos days and a lot of other shows. It was must-watch viewing when it happened. Sunday night, everybody sat in front of that TV with their family or. And you watched The Sopranos and you talked about it the next day. And if you missed it, you were screwed. You were it was gonna get spoiled. It took a little bit before you could see it again. How do you think that affects how people watch stuff these days?
Oh man, I mean, again, innocence just gone.
Gone.
Like people getting together and sitting around. I mean, The Sopranos was an event. People would sit around and order all kinds of Italian food. It was like mozzarella Sundays. It was Sunday dinner. So it was such a social time, and I feel like everything has just. I feel like it was the beginning of this beautiful era of television, and it was also the end at the same time.
Yeah.
Because once we opened that door, it opened the door to, fantastic television, and then all of a sudden television became king over films, and then the streaming started. It was like what we were going through with the music industry with LimeWire and like all of these things that were happening back then, and then the streamers took place, and it's just sort of, I don't understand it right now. We're in a weird time. I feel like the only hope we have for entertainment, aside from what we just went through in the last 4 years, and art is dead over the whole woke agenda. I feel like the indie film is going to reemerge. TV needs to take a break, man. And
Isn't
the
that
indie film
something?
needs to come back.
Yeah, it is similar to music in that way, because everybody wonders what happened to, the indie bands, and like we saw in the 90s, obviously, out of the hair metal days and into grunge. Like, it's just some young people in a garage somewhere with their idea of what entertainment is in their field. And I think, movies and TVs need that. Streaming has just kind of gotten where they'll give you maybe one good season and then just pump garbage out because you're hooked on the one season.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's like we're living during the most lazy, and now we have the Gen Z kids. I'm always lecturing my own son. I'm like, man, you can't take the easy way out. I mean, I know we've all figured out that school's an indoctrination situation, but we also have to still try to thrive under pressure, challenges, and try to make cool stuff again. Like this is now everything's watered down. Everybody flips an auto-tune on. TV shows are terrible. Everything looks like this ugly video. It's not even like a cool VHS vibe. We got this like high def, ultra realistic. There's no
I like
imagination.
grain. I like film grain. What happened to that? You watch things that they look like soap operas. Yeah, everything looks like a soap opera now. I got to say, one of my favorite lines, why don't you go haunt a house? I like that one.
Which one? What is it?
Why don't you go haunt a house?
I forgot that one.
That one's great. Also, you want me to make you some scrambled eggs? I like that one. So many. And then
he could have said anything with that accent.
It was just perfect. And then Christopher went. One of the worst scenes was, "You never told me you were damaged goods." That was brutal.
Uterus.
That was brutal. You always seem to, like, the second you got happy, you just got screwed over somehow in the same episode, back to back like that. It was amazing. So I won't even ask you about the last episode, aside from where were you when you watched it, and did you go because I talked to Vincent Curatola and he's like, we didn't know that was going to happen.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was watching it with a house full of people. We had a big Sunday event at my house. I don't know if I was pregnant yet or something, but I wasn't on the show for a year, I think, at that point. So I wasn't really in touch with all my buddies. And the minute my TV went out, I called one of my best friends who was the production assistant on the show. And I'm like, yo.
Drea, could you hang for one more break? We got to go take a break quick for the network. Can you?
Okay.
We'll be right back. Anthony Cumia.
Yes, we're back. Sorry to make it there, Dre. If she's still there. Anthony Cumia show, of course. Dre?
Hi.
Hi, you're back. Sorry to make you wait. You know how it is. It's like old school, the commercials and things, breaks. Not like a podcast. I've enjoyed podcasting over the past few years, but, back on broadcast radio, as they say.
I like it.
Yeah, it's nostalgic. You were talking about your reaction to the screen going black when you had a room full of people, I guess, and you were all
I didn't believe. I was like, this is a mistake. There's a problem. There's a glitch. So I just called the people from the production to give me the ending so I could tell everybody in the house how it ended, and they were like, that is the ending. And immediately I was like, that's genius. I didn't even think for a minute that it wasn't. I was like, because if they would have killed him, they would have been pissed. The whole world would have been pissed. And if they would have let him live, the whole world would have been pissed because they were still haters back then.
Yep.
And they would have been flexing their hate either way. So this way it was some abstract ending, and it was the best water cooler moment of all time because that show was known for sitting around the water cooler and talking about it.
Yeah, it was... In hindsight, watching the entire series numerous times and picking it apart and going over it, it really is the only way that could have ended. And oddly enough, with satisfying everybody, like you just put it, you'd think everyone was unsatisfied without a nice bow tied around it, but it just, it was perfect. That was the perfect way to end that run. Just amazing.
I think he said that he dies. I think David Chase said in his mind that was his ending, but I don't really know if that's even true because I haven't seen those interviews.
Yeah, I don't even go over it with people because it's, it wasn't written that way, and everything was written. So people go, well, what would you think if they were real people? It's like, yeah, they weren't. So it's kind of silly to think. I saw you on Robert and Jamie Lynn's show, their podcast.
I always say the wrong thing on that one.
No, it's awesome. I think they are so cool. It's so amazing that they are really best of friends. And
know.
It's like some kind of weird comfort thing for fans of the show. It's like, they hang out even off of their podcast. They have lives together. They're very dear friends with each other.
They're brother and sister. They really are brother and sister. He's always there at her house. He moved to where she's living, a whole other state. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's so
They
cool.
adore each other. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is like, it's almost like the sequel, like the brother and sister got out there and they're doing stuff. And
the way he is with her when she, I was behind them at an autograph signing, and she was having a hard time walking, and the way he just sort of props her up and just makes sure that she's okay. It's really beautiful. It makes me cry every time.
Yeah, they love each other like brother and sister.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It really is. You're still doing because that got a lot of heat.
Well, that's what pressurized me into areas where I was like, holy cow. I had a no nudity clause, and now I'm on a site that is, my page is a fan page. I mean, at the end of the day, it's Adriana La Cerva's fan page. I never put a picture of myself on Instagram in a bikini back when I, started social media. Everyone else does. These girls, all these actresses. I've never seen more selfies and more self-adulation in my life. I was like, wait a minute, I can make money posting pictures like all of these sort of starlets and old-timers like J-Lo and everybody. I'm like, but I can just do this and get paid for it because I'm Adriana's Sopranos.
Yeah. Well, Dre, all we had was screenshots from the tennis court or the leopard dress, or when you picked up Christopher when he was in the neck brace, or
and now that's me every day. Some old lady.
Oh, please, I love it, Dre. Thanks so much for popping on and talking with me, man. I'm a huge fan. Appreciate what you do, and we need more people that are open-minded and willing to speak out. Very nice.
Bring rock and roll back.
Yep, bring rock and roll back. Bring movies and TV back. Thanks so much, Dre. I appreciate
Thanks for having me.
You coming on with me, man. Be well.
Thanks for having me.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Love it. Love it.